Yeah.
How did you feel about your boy Karl-Anthony Towns out here rocking the Eagles gear at the game last night in
You
Philly?
know, that was crazy. That was crazy because I saw that and immediately it was like, oh, they're gonna really, really get to work online when it comes to that. I respect he's a Jersey guy, just like Jalen Brunson's a Jersey guy. And a lot of Jersey guys, they either go the Giants, the Jets, or they lean towards Philly. So it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Jalen Brunson is an Eagle head as well, but to be playing against Philly in Philly, that was flagrant. That was flagrant. And I'm a huge Cat fan. Bodega, the catastrophic, the catastrophe, all the names, but he's been incredible for us this year. But that was crazy. That was as my man Mace Murder would say on It Is What It Is, that was crazy. That was
That was
crazy.
crazy.
Like he
Yeah,
shouldn't have did that. And somebody got in his ear, his phone, he not playing in the game. So he's on his phone, I'm sure. Oh, it's getting wicked. All right, let me go ahead and check. You know what I mean? Like that was crazy, especially in Philly. And we have the beginning of a rivalry with them. A friendly thing, but the beginning of a rivalry. We go to, Wells Fargo and take over and whatever. It's the beginning of the Pacers in the 90s again, and
Hmm.
you gotta respect that code. So yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, I like how you try to play it off, talking about he had the sweat stains on, and
Oh
I was
yeah.
like,
Say,
I was
yeah.
like,
Sweating
I was
from
like,
what?
nah,
He wasn't
son.
playing.
Somebody told
Yeah.
you. Somebody told you.
Well, Sky, to your point though, I don't know if it's the beginning of a rivalry because I mean, if Joel Embiid keeps playing 1/3 of the season, I don't know how
Right.
long Philly is going to be able to actually keep this competitive with the Knicks.
No, I agree. You're absolutely right. I think in the sense of basketball wise, because I love the city, I love Ishka Bibbles, I
Sure.
love all that. But
Yeah.
basketball wise, we don't rock with y'all don't rock with us. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
type of thing. Like when the Knicks play other teams, you may play Orlando, you may play Detroit. Okay, it's another game. But it's like when we play Philly, when we play Indiana, it's becoming like that with OKC. I really don't like them at all right now. I really don't like them this year. I want them on the floor every trip, except Shea. Shea is for real.
Yeah.
That team, I want them bombing out every game. I'm really mad we went 0-2 on them on the season. But it's becoming a thing, and I think Philly is in that group now where it's like, yo, yeah, we don't like y'all don't like us.
Yeah. I
Is
think
that
the Orlando one is probably the one you got to watch out for more because
You think so?
that team, the way they defend, which
As
is
a team,
kind
but
of
I
old
think
school Knicks like,
and
but
I
still.
agree with you on that because they are, slowly building a little
Yeah,
something, but
yeah.
I think in the sense of it's personal. When heads be
Yeah,
like,
it's
yo,
not
it's a
there yet.
mm,
rivalry, like it's
mm,
personal for whatever reason, whether it's
mm.
Joel Embiid, flagrantly doing everything with Mitch, and now he's gone for half the season, whatever. Like it's personal. Halliburton with the Reggie, that bum Reggie hoodie
Mm.
he had on, it's personal. You know what I'm saying? OKC is personal because of Hartenstein. It's a personal thing. It's like, no, we circling that date.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody about this guy. Do you like that? Do we need more of this back in the NBA where it's personal?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with you
Absolutely.
on this.
Without a
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah.
Without a doubt. As long as it stay on the court.
Right. As
We're
long as
not
it's on the
talking
court.
about
Right. Nothing
it's
else.
like hip hop, rap beef. You know what I mean? We throwing records at each other as long as it stays on wax, right? So as long as it stays within, 92 feet, absolutely. Because that was one of the driving forces of the 90s. And, David Stern was very big on getting rid of that because it made the league seem a certain way when heads is fighting every night.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Ewing, Scottie Pippen, and jumping over him and pointing down. It's a different thing, but that was a lot of what drove the league. A lot of it was like, man, they going to war. This is my team. Well, this is my team. Well, battle it out. So a lot of that it leaned over into the fan bases and it worked. And it wasn't fabricated. These guys really didn't rock. If you
Yeah.
read stories about Michael Jordan and all of them, he had his core. It was Pat and it was Oak, of course, and it was a lot of different people, but he had his core. Other than that, he was like, I didn't train with those guys in the summer. I ain't work out. I didn't rock with them. I started getting cool with them after we retired. Like,
Mm.
oh man, you like golf too? Oh, you like cigars too? Like, I didn't know that about them because I ain't rock with them. And that's the way it should be because it's competitive. That's why I always like what Russell Westbrook brings, where I don't
Mm.
rock with them, because it's a competitive thing. How you gonna compete against your homie? Like, you supposed to go for blood to get a chip. But y'all cool, y'all at the club afterwards, listening, Gunna and that. Like, it doesn't add up. Like you trying to drop 40 on him, he trying to drop 40 on you, and then I'm gonna see you in a little while, right? We're gonna meet up and go to the club, right? That's
Right.
weird. It's not gonna work. You can try to force it, but it's not gonna. You're not gonna foul that man as hard as you should if that's your bro. You know, you're not
I
gonna
agree.
cross him as hard as you
Yeah,
should
I'm with
if
you on
that's your
this.
Yeah.
bro.
I
I'm
agree
with
with
you
all that.
100%.
How many genuine rivalries, both of y'all? How many genuine rivalries do you think there are in the NBA right now? Because I
Right
feel like
now,
it's
very
hard.
few and far between.
It's hard to keep together because like another piece of this is just guys are moving from team to team to team a lot. So
Yeah.
you don't see cores, and the new CBA is going to affect this. Actually, you don't see
Right.
cores stick together for long enough for there to be rivalries. Like Heat Celtics is like a recent one, which that one's about to die down.
Right.
But and the Knicks and the Sixers, like that's becoming one, but we
Yeah,
have
it's
to kind
bubbling.
of see.
I
Yeah,
I
we have
think
think
to
that-
Knicks
kind of see.
Pacers too. If anybody, and maybe it's because we're also locked in on the team, being from the city, but
Yeah.
I feel like we got more rivalries than anybody else. Like I can count 2, 3, 4 joints. You know, I can say definitely the Sixers. They would probably be number one. I can say the Pacers for sure, because Lord knows, man, I'm anti-Halliburton everything after the playoff. You know what I mean? I'm nah, no way. I want nothing to do with. You know what I mean? Like I want basketball wise.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want him on the floor every trip in the hole, get him down. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I think that's one. I think there's a Boston thing because of the legacy and the New York, Boston for all of sports. You know, you got the
Right.
Yankees and Red
Yeah.
Sox, and then it kind of bleeds into everything else. Boston is one. I would even say the Cavs are one. You know, I always circle that when I'm not on the team, but I always circle that when I see them coming into town because of the playoffs. What was it? 2 years in a row we had them. We got them both times. You know, so I always feel like Cleveland is a little thing. You know, you got the Donovan Mitchell aspect, and it's not a super like we hate them, but I think that's a little thing there. You know, so that could be kind of at the bottom of the list as far as relevance. But I would say even them. I think we have more than anybody else in the league. Everybody may have one. We got like 3 or 4.
I
we
think
got
that
Knicks Hawks in the chat. Some people are saying Atlanta
Hawks.
too.
You know what? That's crazy because the Hawks would probably be 1A behind Philly.
Yeah.
The Hawks would definitely be 1A. Shout to who brought that up because that totally slipped me, and that is definitely one. And you know the Trey thing is so crazy, man. Because
I'm glad you're getting into this. I'm glad you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
Scott, let's just go into
Jump
this
in,
now,
yeah,
Scott.
please.
Because let me set this up because I don't remember what you tweeted. I can't remember. I don't remember if I texted you after that game. But the last time they played, were you bothered by what Trae Young did rolling the dice at midcourt? And how do you think the Knicks should respond to that when they see them on Monday back at the Garden? What do you think their response should be? Is it kind of like the hip hop beef? You want to keep it on wax, you got to keep it on the court. What's the response with the Knicks? Like, did that touch your soul? Was you like, yo, this is whack? Like, how'd you feel?
No, yeah, as a New Yorker, it definitely did, you know, but as a New Yorker, that was something a New Yorker would do, which was so funny, right? Like that showed a lot of gall, for lack of a better word. That showed a lot of, you know, that showed a lot of might. Like, yeah, CeeLo, bang, you know what I mean? Like that was crazy. That was a New York move. That's something somebody from Harlem or Brooklyn or Queens would do. So that was like, Trey, where you really from? You know what I mean? Like you kind of got that in you, you know. But then as a New Yorker, I hated it. It was super disrespectful. I love the way Jalen and them responded, where they were like, look, if we would have won the game, he wouldn't have had the chance to do that, right? Like
facts.
That's it. So what I would do, I wish it was in Atlanta, but it's at the crib, so it's cool. I would just go to the store and buy wild lemon pepper seasonings, you know, like and hand them out to all of them. Like, yeah, we gave y'all that. You know what I mean? You want to shoot dice? Cool, go cook something because we just cooked y'all. You know, like I would
these
just
lemon
hand
pepper
everybody
wings.
lemon pepper seasonings, and they would be furious. Like, you know, after we whipped them by 20 or something, I would just go to the dollar store and hand everybody a lemon pepper shaker. Like, here, boom, 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 boom. Get 15 of them. You know what I mean? And when y'all dapping at the court, all right, good game. Yo, by the way, here you go, baby. Yo, here you go. Word, yeah, we cooked y'all. They go to lemon pepper. You know what I mean? So,
but see, I like that, Sky, because that's creative, and I think the way you come back is on the court and win. I agree with the way Jalen Brunson responded because I had some people tweeting at me and saying, "Dex, they can't let this slide," and I'm like, "What do you want them to do? Fight at center court like after the game? Like,
right?" But back in the early 2000s, they might have.
That's true.
Back in the early 2000s, and I'm not saying it's right. Back in the early 2000s, they might have. They might have been like, yo, come here. If it was Artest and you know,
somebody might have got
Steven
snuffed.
Jack,
Somebody
you know,
might have got
been
snuffed.
like, yeah, hold up, yeah, like
so you could have seen that.